It was in the winter of my 7th year in the service of the prefect that the first of the copper cylinders was unearthed. We were working in the Rakotis district, far from the polished marble of the royal quarter, where the earth is salted with memories. The sun was a pale, tired disk, hanging over the Pharos when the spade struck something that did not ring with a dull thud. It was a sharp, metallic note, a clarion call from a buried age. Softly now, I whispered to the laborers. As the silt was brushed away, the dull sheen of oxidized copper emerged. It was a scroll case, sealed with lead. It was embossed with a seal, not seen in 3 centuries. The winged eye of the first archivist. My hands trembled as I lifted it. It was surprisingly heavy, as if the words trapped inside had gained physical mass through the sheer gravity of their long isolation. I retreated to my study that evening, the copper weight resting on my desk like an unexploded star. The oil lamp flickered, casting long dancing shadows against the walls. Shadows that seemed to take the shape of men in robes. To open such a find is an act of both devotion and desecration. One does not simply read the lost scrolls. One interrogates the silence. I broke the lead seal. The scent that billowed out was of cedar oil and ancient, parched air, the breath of the 3rd century BC. The first parchment unrolled with a reluctant groan. The Greek script was precise, the ink still a deep obsidian black. To those who come after the fire, it began. We are the keepers of the things that do not belong to time. We have watched the ships burn in the harbor, and we have heard the chants of those who believe that a book is a dangerous thing. They are right. A book is a fire that does not consume its fuel. I read deep into the night. The scroll detailed the final days of the great library, not as a sudden catastrophe, but as a slow, agonizing erosion. Eratosthenes described how they began to smuggle the most dangerous truths out into the desert, burying them in copper veins. They seek the maps of the stars, Eratosthenes wrote, but we have hidden the maps of the soul. I looked up. Alexandria, outside my window, was a sprawl of modern noise and electric lights, oblivious to the library beneath its feet. I realized then that I was not merely a translator. I was a conspirator in a plot that had been running for 2,000 years. The second scroll contained diagrams that defied my understanding, spirals within spirals, calculations far too accurate for the time. And then there was the mention of the 3rd vault. The 3rd vault, the text claimed, lies where the shadow of the Pillar of Pompey touches the sea. There, we place the scrolls of the unnamed prophet, the one who saw the end of the world and found it beautiful. I stood and walked to the window. The equinox was but 3 days away. The air felt charged, vibrating in sympathy with the copper. Could the final repository of human wisdom truly be sitting beneath the tide, waiting for a shadow to point the way? I knew the risks. To seek the 3rd vault was to invite the attention of those who still feared the fire that does not consume its fuel. But as I looked back at the elegant, defiant script of a man who died for a metaphor, I knew I had no choice. Sleep does not come easily when you are holding the keys to a forgotten world. I sat in the darkness, the copper cylinder cool. I listened to the waves of the Mediterranean crashing, the same waves that Eratosthenes had heard, the same eternal mystery. We are all, in a sense, wandering the ruins of a library we don't remember. We are all searching for the scroll that explains who we are and why we long for things we have never seen. Tonight, the search begins. Tonight, the shadow moves.